Absolutely.
In the world of finance.
It's a great time to delve into, some proper finance. And, Drew Blazsik in studio right now. Drew, how the heck are you?
I'm doing great. Feels like it's going to be a great day today.
Wow. Love that. I love the positive
yeah.
attitude this morning.
Yeah. Pumped up. I'm about to go to Cedar Point with my son.
Oh, my
neat.
goodness. All right.
Now, are you going to stand there and watch the ride that they built that's the tallest anywhere and they don't have it operating?
Yeah, I heard it's down all summer. It'd be fun to watch it.
Yeah.
Or stare at it. But
wow, look at that.
If it were operating, would you get on it? Are you that guy or no?
Yeah, I'll get on all those rides.
You are.
I don't like how it turns, kind of twirls and then goes backwards, but I'll try it once. My kids.
Yeah, I won't even do the merry-go-round, man. I'm just telling you.
That's scary. Slow and high.
He gets on that horse and he goes, "Can you slow this thing down?"
Yeah, that's right. Just as long as we're not going in circles, I'm okay. If straight lines are fine. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I understand you have a great story for us today.
Yeah, so I just want to talk about a Saint Anthony, and then there's a great story from the Book of Miracles about this saint, and it has to do with a little bit of finance.
Oh, nice.
First off, Saint Anthony was born and raised in a wealthy family in Lisbon, Portugal, and died in Padua, Italy. Noted by his contemporaries for his powerful preaching, expert knowledge of the Scripture, and undying love and devotion to the poor and sick. He was one of the most quickly canonized saints in church history, being canonized less than a year after his death. He was proclaimed a doctor of the church by Pope Pius XII in 1946. So St. Anthony had some writings contain many harsh condemnations of usury. In the first of his sermons for the third Sunday before Ash Wednesday, the devil himself is represented as an exactor, one who offered the coin of sin to the first parent, now ceaselessly demands daily repayment with usury. The usurer is a hard-hearted man who harnesses the poor with daily demands for repayment. Elsewhere, usurers are compared to reptiles, bloodsuckers, and even leprosy, St. Anthony says. They are deaf to the cries of the poor and the warnings of preachers. They spread their nets to catch great and small, rich and poor, and they have stony hearts. They are like the teeth of lions grinding the poor. So St. Anthony was not a big fan.
No, I would say not.
So a couple things were happening. In the 13th century marked a turning point of the economic history of Europe. Previous time, people generally demanded upon subsistence farming to meet their needs. Cities were small and highly dependent upon the immediate environment for necessities of life. After the pilgrimages of the Middle Ages and the Crusades, people slowly began to trade in distant lands and depend on more goods brought from outside of the world. So, along with the trade and money, there was a growth of unscrupulous business practices, debtors' prisons, and this is one of the issues St. Anthony had. So this is the story. This is a great story, and this is from the Book of Miracles. One time, St. Anthony was present and preached at a funeral of a moneylender. He was struck by a sudden inspiration, and he cried out that the deceased should not be buried in consecrated ground, for his soul was already suffering the torments of hell. So he said the man's heart was no longer in his body, but that the gospel may be fulfilled, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. So this is how the story went. After he said that, the people, they opened up the man's side and found that his heart was missing from his body. But St. Anthony instructed them to look in the treasure chest. So they ran over to the man's treasure chest and found his heart in the treasure chest.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Can you imagine?
That's
you see this
amazing.
man, you're wondering what happened to him, and a great saint instructed to do that, and you found that. He did other great miracles, but it shows that where your treasures are, that's where your heart will be also.
What a beautiful story.
Yeah, it's interesting story, and that's from the Book of Miracles. I believe it was written in the 1500s, and it talked about many miracles what St. Anthony did.
That's incredible.
And these thoughts, these ideas, these teachings, I mean, obviously we're finding that one in particular in the Scriptures, but also what the church teaches. These aren't things said just for people to ponder or think about and maybe encourage them to change their ways. These are teachings that we're to follow, right?
Yes, absolutely. Back then, these sins, especially the sin of money, you could not get absolution in the confessional unless you made reparation and you paid back the ones that you have committed the sin to. So this is really for this miracle for people to see their eternal salvation. I mean, it's a big deal.
Pretty cool. Wow. And we find lessons in almost everything, right? If you're looking for it.
Oh yeah, it's a very there's a lot of great stories of the saints.
Well, make sure you take plenty of finances with you when you go to Cedar Point later, and buy some concessions.
Oh, well.
Thank you, Drew Blazsik. We appreciate that. We look forward to our visits every Friday with you.
Yeah, and just a quick piece of advice, Drew. When you're on the roller coasters today, they say as you're going like down a big hill, if you throw your arms up in the air like you just don't care, it just makes the ride better. I've heard that.
I'll try it.
Yeah, I've never done it because I won't get on them personally.
I love those tall roller coasters because afterward you can patrol that area underneath, and sometimes you get like new sunglasses, some other things involved. All right, we'll be right back. More morning offerings straight ahead, including Friday frivolities coming up.